All right, good morning. I just wanted to create a video on how to use ANSYS, in particular the workbench. So this is the workbench, and I have three different cases, but let's start right from the beginning. So what you're going to do is you're going to click Start. Once you download the student version, click All, and click on ANSYS 2025, and scroll all the way down to Workbench. Open this up. It may take a few minutes. You may have to approve or accept a few things. But once you open it, it should have all of these components on the left. If it doesn't, then it didn't install right, and try to reinstall it. Okay. All right. And then we're going to focus in this class on static structure. So you can left click and drag into a standalone spot. So don't worry about A, B, or C. All right. Those are just other examples that I did. Okay. So once you drag that in, we're going to double click engineering data. And this is where you can assign properties or materials for your object. All right. So here is structural steel. It has density, yield strength. If you want to create a new one, I sometimes duplicate it, change the name. I'll just call it, you can just double click and you can change the properties. So say now it's 3000, and you can go ahead and change all of these items down here, change the name. And then you will eventually select that when you do your model. Okay. So you can create a new material, you can go to their database and look. So that's engineering data. So we can just click X, go back here. Now geometry, you can right click, and I always do everything in Design Modeler. It's up to you. I'm not familiar with Space Claim or this new discovery, but a lot of the information that I do in the drawing you're going to do takes place in Design Modeler. Okay. Now, one thing I do want to point out is SDC Publications has great books, great tutorials on FEM and on other applications called Fluent, which is computational fluid dynamics. Highly recommend you buying their books. Very good tutorials, and they use the Design Modeler to do the drawing. Okay, so again, SDC Publications. Let me go right here. Now that's one way you can draw in this geometry. The other way is you can use Inventor, SolidWorks, any other computer program, but you're just going to export it as a step file. Okay, so let me just show you. All right, so here is Inventor, and I've created one part here, it's just a rectangle. I created another part here, just a slightly different rectangle at a different angle. And then down here, I've created two assemblies. It doesn't matter, okay? But I created an assembly by bringing each part in and doing a constraint so this one fits on that one, okay? Now, the reason I'm doing this is because these two I can assign different materials to. That's the only way that you can get ANSYS to be able to select two different materials is by making parts in an assembly file, okay? And then you're going to go to File, Export, CAD format, Step File, and export it, okay? And I've created assembly 1 here for you, okay? All right, so that's Inventor, exported it. So we're going to bring that in. So if you right click, go to New Design Modeler. Again, it may take a little bit. So down here at the bottom, it says Starting Design Modeler. Okay. And then you bring it over here. Okay. So this is the home page. And what we're going to do is File, and we're going to import external geometry file. And then I'm going to look for that assembly file, open. Now nothing will happen. You have to click on the import and click generate. Okay? And now we have part 1 and part 2 that we created. Then we can go ahead and click X. Goes back here, you get a check mark, we're good. Now let's go and double click model. Sometimes for some reason I get an issue. There's some sort of error, but I just click it. We'll see if it happens. Now again, I can delete A, B, and C. Those are just standalone projects that I'm working on. Again, it may take a little bit to load. Starting mechanical on the bottom left. There we go. And give it a second. It may take a little bit to load. And I'm running this on a Surface Pro 7, I believe, with an i7. And it does take a little bit. Yeah, see, for some reason I get this, it'll close, but I just double click and it should open with no issues. Maybe. Did it do anything? All right, let's see. There we go. Okay. I'm not sure what's happening there, but this is now where we're going to model it. So if you click on geometry and say part 2, okay, now you can't see it. I think my scale was wrong, which is fine, so I just zoomed in. Okay. Part 2, but down here, I can click. This will be structural steel 2. Okay. And now part 1 is structural steel. So that's how you can assign your properties. We're going to go down here and click mesh. You're going to right click and say, oops, let's just say generate mesh. It'll generate a very generic mesh for us right now. And then down here, we're going to right click and say insert. We can do this. So let's say that surface or that face, we're going to have a force. So this is where we can apply a force. And let's do component. And let's go -500. Okay. And then if I middle click and rotate this face, this will be the fixed support. Okay. So now we have a force. We're applied a force. We've made a fixed support. Down here in solution, we're going to right click. We're going to add total deformation. And we're going to add stress. And then we're going to click solve. And we're going to solve it. Down here, it tells you the percentage. This is the student version, so you're limited on the number of elements and nodes. The more you have, the longer it's going to take. Okay, so let me just, let's see. Why is that off-centered? Oh, that's why. Let me just move that down. There, okay. So now we have, this is your stress. Here's your deformation. Now if it's really small. So if you look, it does exaggerate. So what you need to do is in results, you go up to scale and you can do true scale, and that's the true deformation it would look like. Okay. I like to do auto just to kind of show you this exaggeration. Okay. Now, say you wanted to add a different stress or whatever, say normal. See how there's a lightning bolt? You need to resolve this, and now you can get that result. Okay? So, let's see. Was there anything else? I don't think so. So, kind of went through. We can close this and it'll save. Okay, so none of these are all checked. Went through engineering data, geometry. I didn't show you how to actually draw in Design Modeler. The tutorials through SDC actually make you go through those. It is definitely harder than using Inventor and SolidWorks. We went through modeling, and then the rest is all kind of like the same. Like the solution and results are all kind of done in model. All right. Well, good luck, have fun, and let me know if you have questions. Thank you.